Gary loved to fish.
Gary loved to fish. Yeah, like would be an understatement.
Good day for fishing for my dad had nothing to do with whether he caught a fish or not.
It was just being with people that he enjoyed.
He loved being friends. He loved to be a friend.
Just the most gregarious, charismatic, open person.
You probably would never meet an individual that had a bad thing to say about him.
Just incredibly generous, and always has been.
My dad adored his family. It was everything to him.
Grandkids were a huge part of his life. I think that's what brought him the most joy.
He loved his family more than anything. I recognized years before he was diagnosed that there was something wrong.
When I first heard that my dad had Parkinson's, I thought, oh, that explains some things.
He had some movement problems and a little bit of, maybe stumbling or false steps.
He had a lot of arthritis, and so I think we were thinking it was just, more degeneration.
There could be a delay in a response to a question where I know he knows the answer and the wheels are turning, but it just takes a little bit more time to get it through the mouth, off the lips.
It was a learning experience for all of us. I think mostly for my dad.
We were dealing with something we knew nothing about.
I think he had shame over the diagnosis because he was a man and it meant that there was going to have to be some adjustments to his life.
And there was a period of time where it was not something we talked about much.
He didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want us to talk about it. He just wanted to enjoy his retirement and probably just let the doctors fix it.
I think there was a bit of denial and a bit of sweeping it under the rug until he took the time to educate himself a bit more on it and to reach out and look for resources like Pro.
I think he always kind of struggled with that balance of how much help to ask for and how much of his independence to give up. And I think the decision to stop fishing was a big one for him.
My dad's vehicle of change in, I think, embracing his diagnosis and what that meant was the signs were impossible to ignore anymore.
He did everything he could not to let it get in the way of his family. I think every waking moment was, how can he spend time with the kids?
Gary found his life with Parkinson's through Pro.
Pro really helped Gary.
My dad got a ton out of Pro, and it trickled down for the rest of us.
Pro brought to my dad a sense of acceptance, comfort, and certainly information and resources.
The thing that Dad got out of Pro that he had an inability to get from a doctor was all the time in the world to ask all the questions he wanted and to get all the information he wanted about Parkinson's and what it meant.
For him to be able to go to meetings and have his people and his community, I think kind of built him up, and it took that shame piece away.
It just was really a dramatic turn of events to go from hiding in your house to talking to people about it.
I think the most important benefit to being involved with Pro was watching my dad go from being in denial to talking openly about Parkinson's. That was huge.
I think one of the things Gary most relished about Pro was that family feel.
Getting the information was very easy for him, and it felt like he was dealing with a very close-knit, tight group of individuals, and it made him feel like he was working with family. I think Pro made a huge impact on his life.
Gary has a ripple effect. It would almost be impossible for him not to. I mean, he was just such an outgoing, giving person.
Pro gave him the resources, the tools, and the desire to do that.
My dad touched people's lives in just a very organic, real way.
By giving, I think it gave to him.
A wonderful thing has happened because of Pro.
He felt comfortable enough to share his story so that other people could learn from his diagnosis and his experiences. And that was one of the ways that I think he gave back.
Pro does things for you that you have to have the experience of not having that resource and having the disease to appreciate how much they do. I've gone from wanting to hide, stay away from people, not admit that I had Parkinson's, not talk to anybody about it, to now being able to do the kind of thing we're doing right now. The programs they put together and the people they put together, they help you, make you feel so much better.